My name is Emma. I'm 22 years old. And this is the story of the love I never saw until it was gone. I met him when I was 10. His name was Noah. He was the quiet boy who always sat at the back of the class, never raised his hand, never laughed too loud, but always watching, not in a strange way, but in a soft, silent kind of care. I never really noticed him much. He was just there, always kind, always alone. While other boys shouted and joked, he sat near the window, reading or drawing in his notebook. Sometimes I'd drop my pencil, and before I could bend down, it was already picked up by him. He never asked for thanks. He just nodded once and looked away. I thought he was just shy, just quiet. I never knew that behind those silent eyes was a heart that had been loving me for years. We were in the same school, same class, year after year. Looking back now, I realize he was always there. During sports day, I fell while running. The crowd cheered for the winners, but only one person ran toward me. Noah. He didn't say anything. He just helped me up, dusted the dirt off my hands, and gave me his water bottle. That was his way. Silent help. No spotlight. There was a day when I forgot my lunch. I sat alone under the tree, trying not to cry. He walked by, left a sandwich next to me, and walked away. No name, no words. But I knew it was him. Even back then, he was the boy who cared quietly. And me? I was the girl who never saw it, because I was too busy looking for loud love and missing the quiet one that mattered most. School uniforms to college forms, from lunchboxes to long lectures. But one thing never changed. Noah. Still quiet. Still kind. Still always around. But never too close. In college, I had new friends, new dreams, new faces around me. And yes, a few boys I liked. A few who liked me back. I laughed more, lived more, loved more. At least I thought I did. But Noah? He was always there, in the background, sitting 2 rows behind in class, holding the library door open, passing me a pen when mine stopped working. Never saying much. Just being there. I thought it was just coincidence. Just habit. But now I know. He wasn't just a classmate. He was a shadow who followed me softly because he couldn't walk beside me. And I never once turned around to see him fully. It was a cold winter morning. Our class had gone on a field trip, a museum outside the city. The ground was wet, and my shoes kept slipping. I laughed with my friends, careless, until I stepped on the wrong tile and fell hard onto the stone floor. Pain shot through my ankle. People gasped. Some just stared. My friends froze. Some didn't know what to do. Some just looked worried from a distance. But one person moved. Noah. He rushed forward. Quicker than anyone. He knelt beside me, checked my ankle, and gently helped me sit up. "You're okay, just twisted," he said softly, his voice calm, like he had done this before. He gave me his jacket, put his hand behind my back, and supported me all the way to the bus. The teacher praised him. My friends said, "Wow, he's so nice." I smiled, said thank you. But I still didn't really see it. Didn't see him. I thought he was just being helpful. Just a good guy. But I didn't know. That moment meant the world to him. Because helping me was the only way. He knew how to love me without saying it. Classes, assignments, late-night study sessions. And Noah? He was still there. Still silent. Still watching from the background. But then, I started to notice things. Small things. Every morning, my water bottle was already filled. Before I even touched it, I thought maybe it was the cleaning staff. Until one day, I saw Noah quietly walking past my desk before class started. And my bottle? Filled. When I dropped my notes in the hallway, someone picked them up and arranged them in order. Before I even looked back, guess who was standing nearby? Noah. Pretending not to notice. I once lost my favorite pen. 2 days later, it appeared in my pencil case. Clean, untouched, like new. Noah never said a word. Not once. But these small things, they started to feel like patterns. Like whispers from someone who didn't need credit. Only closeness. And still, I didn't ask. Didn't say anything. Because part of me was too distracted to see it. And the other part was afraid to believe that someone could love so quietly for so long. It was a normal evening. I was in my room, scrolling through my phone, laughing at silly videos, trying to forget another bad day at college. I had just started dating Liam. He was charming, confident, the kind of guy everyone noticed. And for a while, he made me feel seen, special. Until that night, a notification popped up. An unknown number. No name. No profile picture. The message said, "Be careful with Liam. He's not who you think he is." I stared at the screen. My heart skipped. then raced. I replied, "Who is this?" No answer. Just silence. I showed it to a friend. They said it was probably a prank. Someone being dramatic. But something in me. Something small. Something quiet. Was unsettled. I asked Liam about it. He laughed. Said people were jealous. Said I was overthinking. And I believed him. Because I wanted to. But what I didn't know was that the message wasn't meant to scare me. It was meant to save me. And it came from someone who had been watching out for me long before I ever noticed. At first, Liam was everything I thought I wanted. He took me out for coffee, texted me good morning, held my hand in front of everyone. It felt like a movie. But slowly, the scene started to change. He stopped replying on time. Stopped listening when I spoke. Started checking his phone more than my eyes. One evening, I saw him talking to another girl. Too close. Too familiar. He said it was nothing. Just a classmate. So I smiled. And stayed quiet. Because I didn't want to lose him. Then came the party. A friend's birthday. Liam said he couldn't come. Too much to study. But later that night, photos appeared on social media. He was there. With her. Laughing. Holding her hand. Like I didn't exist. I called him. Once. Twice. No answer. The next day. He blocked me. Everywhere. No goodbye. No explanation. Just gone. And I broke. But I still didn't know. Someone else saw it coming. Someone tried to warn me. Someone who loved me. Silently. From the shadows. Cold. Like the sky could feel my pain. I sat on the college bench. The one near the old tree. With my phone in my hand. Still hoping he'd call. Still hoping it was all a misunderstanding. But he didn't call. He didn't even care. And in that silence, I broke. Tears ran down my face. Mixed with the rain. I didn't try to hide them. Because what was the point? Everyone leaves. Everyone lies. And love was just another word I didn't understand anymore. But then, a soft voice spoke behind me. Emma. I turned around. It was Noah. He was holding a small umbrella. Already soaked himself. His eyes looked worried. But calm. He didn't ask what happened. He didn't say, "I told you so." He just sat beside me. And held out a tissue. That's all. No questions. No judgment. Just presence. He took off his jacket. And placed it over my shoulders. And in that moment, I felt warm. For the first time that night. No, we sat there. For a long time. Under the rain. saying nothing. But somehow, that silence felt louder than any comfort I'd ever known. Noah didn't ask what Liam did. He didn't need to. He just sat beside me, close enough to feel, but far enough to respect. After a while, I looked at him properly. Like really looked. He was soaked from the rain. His hands cold. His hair sticking to his forehead. But his eyes, so full of something I couldn't name. "Why are you always there?" I asked softly, my voice barely louder than the rain. He looked at me. And for the first time, he smiled. A small, shy, quiet smile. Not the kind that wants attention. Not the kind that hides pain. But the kind that only comes from loving someone in silence for far too long. He didn't answer my question. He didn't need to. Because in that smile, I saw everything I had missed for years. But I was still too hurt, too confused, to understand the truth. And by the time I did, he was already slipping away. The next morning, I couldn't stop thinking about him, about Noah. The way he looked at me, the way he didn't speak, but said so much. Just by being there. I sat at my desk, staring at my old notebooks, flipping through pages, filled with memories I had ignored. And then I saw it. A note, folded inside my old planner. "Don't let fake people steal your light." No name. No handwriting I recognized. At least, not then. But now it looked familiar. The curve of the letters. The way the E was written. Just like Noah's notes in class. I opened another book. A note from weeks ago. "You deserve someone who listens to your silence." Again, no name. But the same soft writing. My heart paused. I thought back to the water bottle, the pen in my case, the anonymous message about Liam. It all started to connect. Every quiet kindness, every word of care, every shadow in the background. It was him. It had always been him. Noah was never just there by chance. He was always there. For me. But I didn't see it. Not until the signs started screaming louder. That afternoon, I went to the library. Not to study, but to breathe. To think. To remember. I walked to the far corner. The quietest part. The place where Noah always sat. Alone. I sat at his usual table. The chair still warm. Like he had just left. As I opened my textbook, a folded paper slipped out. Not mine. It had no title. Just a letter. Written in soft, familiar handwriting. I opened it slowly. And as I read the first line, my hands began to tremble. "Loving you was the easiest thing I've ever done." But saying it out loud, was the hardest. My chest tightened. You never saw me. Not really. But I was there. When you cried. When you laughed. When you were alone. Tears welled up in my eyes. I was the boy behind you in every class. The one who filled your bottle. Picked up your books. Warned you before your heart broke. And now that it's too late to say it face to face, I'm saying it here. I loved you. I still do. No name. No signature. But I didn't need one. I knew who it was. Noah. The boy I never truly saw. Until his words told me everything. His lips never did. My heart was louder than my thoughts. That letter. Those words. They changed everything. How could I have missed it? How could I have ignored the one person who had been loving me in silence for so long? I left the library with tears in my eyes and a mission in my chest. I had to find Noah. I checked the library desk. No sign in from him that day. I ran to our classroom. He wasn't there. His chair sat empty. Like it knew he wouldn't be back. I asked our classmates, "Have you seen Noah?" Most of them just shrugged. He's always quiet. Maybe he went home early. Who even talks to him? No one knew. No one noticed. Just like I didn't. I searched the campus. Checked the cafeteria. The garden. Even the art room. Where he sometimes sketched alone. Nothing. No traces. Just silence. And that silence. It scared me more than anything. Because now that I finally wanted to see him, he was nowhere to be found. That night, I couldn't sleep. I laid in bed, staring at the ceiling, my mind replaying every small moment I had once ignored. The texts, the looks, the way he always seemed to be just a few steps behind me, but never in the way. I opened my old notebooks, flipping through the pages again. More notes, more quotes, all written in the same quiet style, all unsigned, all from him. I went to my photo gallery, scrolled through old class pictures, and suddenly, I saw him. Always in the corner. Always watching. In one photo, I was laughing with friends. And there he was. In the background. Smiling. A soft, almost invisible smile. Like just being near me was enough. And then I found the message again. The one that warned me about Liam. I never deleted it. It was still there. Still anonymous. But now I knew. It was him. Noah had been protecting me. Loving me. Caring for me. In ways I never noticed. Until now. And with every memory. Every sign. My heart sank deeper into regret. Because all this time, he was speaking to me. Without words. And I never heard him. The next morning, I got up early. Earlier than I ever had for class. I didn't care about lectures. I didn't care about assignments. I just needed to see him. To tell him what I never said. I went to every place. He used to be. The bench near the art block. The old classroom window he liked to sit by. The library's far corner. Even the stairs near the garden. Where he sketched alone. But he wasn't there. I asked the security guard. Did Noah come in today? He looked at me for a second and said, that quiet boy? Haven't seen him for a few days now. My heart dropped. I opened my phone. Searched his number. A number I never saved. But now needed more than anything. I messaged him. Noah, can we talk? Please. No reply. I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. The emptiness of the ringtone. Felt like a goodbye. I wasn't ready to hear. I went back to the bench. Where he last gave me his jacket. It was cold now. Lonely. Like it remembered too. I whispered into the wind. I'm sorry. I see it now. I see you now. But he wasn't there to hear it. And that's when I knew. I was too late. Something caught my eye. A small envelope. Left at the door. No name on the front. But my heart already knew. I picked it up with trembling hands. Walked inside. And sat down on my bed. Like the world had stopped moving. I opened it slowly. Too afraid. Too hopeful. Inside. Was a short note. Just a few lines. But they shattered me. You don't need to say anything. I never expected you to feel the same. But loving you in silence was still the most beautiful part of my life. Please don't feel bad. I just needed to step away. Before I became a shadow you'd learn to ignore forever. I clutched the paper to my chest. Tears falling fast. Hot and helpless. He didn't leave with anger. He didn't blame me. He just disappeared. Softly. Quietly. The same way. He loved me. And in those words, I didn't just lose a friend. I lost the one person who truly saw me when I didn't even see myself, like a ghost. The laughter of others felt distant. The sky looked dull. Even the wind felt quieter. Every corner I passed reminded me of him. The stairs he sat on. The class door he held open. The bench where he waited with that soft smile. He was everywhere. And nowhere. Later that afternoon, I ran into Mia. One of Noah's classmates from an elective class. I asked quietly, "Have you seen Noah?" She paused. Then looked surprised. "Oh, didn't you hear?" She said. "He withdrew from college yesterday." Transferred to a campus in another city. Didn't tell anyone. Just signed the forms and left. My stomach dropped. Transferred? Left? Without a goodbye? I forced a smile. Nodded politely. Walked away. But inside, my heart was screaming. He left. And I didn't even get one last chance to say his name, to hold his hand, to tell him. I knew now. I sat on the edge of my bed that night, the note still in my hand, whispering to myself, why did I wait so long? To see the one who never looked away from me? That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about him. About everything he did. About how I never said thank you. Or I see you. Or even stay. I opened my phone again. I scrolled through old photos. Then through messages. And then I saw it. 3 missed calls. All from an unsaved number. All from the week Liam broke my heart. I tapped on the call history. The time matched perfectly. The night I was crying in the rain. Right before Noah found me. He tried to call me. To say something. To be there for me. Before he even showed up. My heart broke all over again. He reached out. He wanted to speak. But I was too busy chasing someone who never really cared. And the one who did? I ignored his silence. I ignored his calls. I ignored him. I stared at that number. Tears falling down my cheeks. I saved it anyway. Typed his name in full, Noah, the one I should have loved. But now, there was no one left to answer it. Because by the time I heard his voice in my heart, his real voice, was already gone. The next few days felt empty. Everything looked the same. But nothing felt right. The world moved on. Classes continued. People laughed in the hallways. But I felt like I was walking through a memory that kept hurting more. Each time I blinked. I sat in the cafeteria where he once handed me a tissue. I passed the tree where he once gave me his jacket. And everywhere I went, my heart whispered one thing. It was him. It was always him. I kept his letter folded in my journal. Read it every night. Like a prayer. To a love I never answered. And the hardest part? He didn't leave with anger. He didn't demand anything. He just loved me quietly and let go when I still hadn't realized what I was holding on to. And now, I finally felt something I thought I'd never feel for him. Love. Real, deep, painful love. But it came too late. He gave me his heart in silence. And I found mine in the middle of his absence. The one near the old tree where he once sat beside me without asking for anything. Where he gave me warmth without asking for love in return. I sat there alone. The breeze was soft, the sky pale with evening light. I closed my eyes and imagined him sitting next to me again. Quiet. Still. There. I held his letter in my hand, folded and worn from being read too many times. I wish I had seen you sooner. I whispered. I wish I had listened. When your silence was screaming my name. A leaf fell beside me. The air was calm, like even the world had paused to hear the apology he would never receive. I looked at the empty space next to me and smiled. A sad, quiet smile. Wherever you are now, Noah, I hope you finally feel seen. And in that moment, I didn't need him to be beside me, to love him. Because sometimes, love doesn't need two people holding hands. Sometimes. It's been months now, and I still think of him. Not with pain, but with something softer. Something quieter. Noah didn't leave with anger. He didn't try to prove anything. He just loved me. The only way he knew how. Silently. Gently. Completely. And I saw it too late. But now, when I look back, I don't feel ashamed for missing the signs. I feel thankful that I was ever loved like that at all. If you're listening to this, and you've ever loved someone in silence, or you were too blind to see who loved you, I hope you find peace. Because real love doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it just waits. And sometimes, it leaves. Before you even get the chance to say I love you too. So if you love someone, don't wait too long. Some hearts love quietly. But even the quietest hearts deserve to be heard before they walk away.